What is good, y'all? As always, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with all of our videos. We really appreciate the support. You heard of Kevin Durant, right? Well, we're going to talk about the 5 best trade destinations for KD, and this is just from League Alerts, so it's not law. If you disagree, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. When Kevin Durant requested a trade from the Nets, every team began crunching numbers to see if they have enough to acquire one of the most prolific offensive players in league history. Now, Durant listed his preferred trade destinations, those being the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. It goes without saying that any trade involving KD would need a huge haul, considering the Utah Jazz just got 4 first-round picks and 5 players in the trade that sent Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And while KD may want to be traded as soon as possible to get ready for next season, Shams said during an interview appearance on the Pat McAfee show that the Nets plan to be patient until a team meets their asking price. Getting into the list now, at number 5 we have the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies front office would need to think a million times before breaking up the young core of Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. They managed to reach the second round in these last playoffs and fared pretty well against the Golden State Warriors. In exchange for KD, they would most likely need to give away their defensive stopper, Jaren Jackson, and 2 legit scorers in Desmond Bane and/or Dillon Brooks, plus some picks. Would they want to waste a handful of high-potential rising stars in exchange for a 32-year-old superstar? Maybe not, but pairing Ja Morant with Kevin Durant would be extremely explosive. Morant, Durant, it just sounds right too. Alright, at number 4 we got the Golden State Warriors. I don't have a ton to say about this, but this isn't a case where the Warriors stars are pressing the front office to go get KD. Sources made it clear that they're fine with defending their title with Wiggins, Poole, and the young players they've been grooming to win with them. But they do have all sorts of young players who could help the Nets win both now and in the future. Jordan Poole, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, etc., etc. Wiggins actually could not be included due to a rule that I'll explain further in a little bit. The Warriors want to win now and in the future and have talked openly about 2 timelines, one with the young core and one with Kevin Durant. I think they're going to go with option A, but option B would certainly put them as title favorites as well, which is why they made this list. Coming in at number 3, we got the Miami Heat. Being that this is one of Durant's 2 preferred trade destinations, it was only right that we included them on this list. Even though the Heat had a great run in the playoffs, the team still didn't quite look championship worthy. Aside from Jimmy Butler, the rest of the roster seemed to be pretty inconsistent a lot of the time. If this trade does end up going through, the Heat could be looking at another big 3, similar to the Bron, Wade, Bosh trio with Durant, Butler, and Adebayo. Since the Heat aren't willing to give up either Butler or Adebayo, the trade package would look a little something like this: Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, rookie Nikola Jovic, and 3 to 4 first-round picks. Is that too much? Well, that's the sort of question with all of these packages that'll be offered for Durant, since he's such a high commodity and can easily change a franchise. Coming in at number 2 on our list, we have the Phoenix Suns, Durant's other preferred landing spot. As the top seed in the West last season, the Suns core was looking fire until they unfortunately choked in the second round of the playoffs. I hate to say it, but we gotta call a spade a spade. They choked. It is what it is. It happens. It's interesting to note that the relationship between DeAndre Ayton and the Suns organization is growing more bitter by the moment. They haven't offered Ayton a max contract yet, and it's increasingly less likely that they'll do so in the future. It is also important to note that even if the Nets wanted Devin Booker to be included in the trade, it wouldn't be legal since Ben Simmons is still on the Nets roster. Remember that rule I mentioned earlier with Andrew Wiggins? Well, according to that rule, a team cannot acquire 2 players who both had max rookie extensions through trade. So, the proposed trade would probably look something like Kevin Durant in exchange for DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and 3 future first-round picks, maybe with some pick swaps. And finally, at number 1 on our list, we got the Portland Trailblazers, and I'm going to tell you why KD to the Blazers would be a perfect fit. For starters, this could be Durant's most satisfying opportunity due to the fact that Portland has relatively low expectations. I get it that he's going to be under pressure no matter where he ends up, but a team that has struggled like Portland will certainly give him some chance to overachieve. One season removed from a 27-win catastrophe that saw them tear things down and ship off vets like CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, and Robert Covington, the Blazers are not just one piece away from being considered championship favorites, even with KD. Dame's season was cut short due to abdominal surgery, playing in only 29 games and shooting a career-low 32% from 3. Narratives and legacies are usually a footnote in discussions like these, but for KD, they do definitely matter. This would give him the chance to spend the remaining years of his prime on the one team that passed on him in the draft. Remember Greg Oden? Yeah, me too. The Blazers can be good, but are not a stacked super team with Durant. Over the past 4 years, they've had the worst defense in the NBA. Imagine Durant and Lillard pair with Yusuf Nurkic, Gary Payton II, and Jeremy Grant, assuming he's not in the trade. But everything else about this roster is kinda thin, and it's unclear who out of Josh Hart, Nasir Little, or Justice Winslow would be involved in this trade were it to actually go down. A reunion in Golden State could be nice, but the same experience that failed to satisfy his hunger the first time around. Winning it all on a team like Toronto would make it hard to separate what Kawhi Leonard already did for that franchise and its fans. Doing it in Miami, well, they just had the best record in the Eastern Conference. Raising a banner in Phoenix would be nice, but he'd be teaming up with a group that just made the NBA Finals in 2021 and just won 64 games last season. A title in Portland would be different. It would give a career that doesn't need any more accolades. It may feel like a Hail Mary, but this, in my humble opinion, would be the best spot for Kevin Durant and his career. I do have two honorable mentions, the first being the Lakers. I don't even know what it would take from this team, but you'd have to think both Russ and AD would be included in this package, but I mean, I really don't know. The other honorable mention would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it would be super dope to see a homecoming, but their young core is most likely to stay together. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow League Alerts on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the best NBA coverage out there. And drop a comment below and let me know what team you think Kevin Durant will go to or should go to.